I'm tired of seeing the quality of workmanship go right down the toilet. All right, well, I've been getting a lot of calls on how much the cost is per square foot to build a custom home in the Calgary area in 2026. And that's always been such a hard question. And so I'm going to address some of that today. This is a perfect house for me to give you some examples. So anyways, hopefully you get some education on what you can look for. Okay, everybody, square footage cost. This is an example I give all the time for people. 80 by 20 or 40 by 40. They're both 1,600 square foot homes. But if you look at the lineal footage of the walls that make up the home, one is 40 and 80 is 160 lineal feet. The other one is 200 lineal feet because it's 80 and 80 and 40. 20 and 20, sorry. So they both make up the same square footage, but the lineal footage to build that house is different. So now this is a great example of this house. So this is just the front of the house. This is nothing inside. This is just some of the most basic things. So somebody says to me, hey, how much a square foot? They don't have a drawing. They ask me, I want a bungalow or a two-story? Their thought process is that's kind of the only things that you need to know. But let's have a quick look here. So, for instance, let's just start garage doors. What kind of garage doors do you want? Do you want just a regular garage door? Do you want a side lift opener? Do you want a garage door that has a wood grain? Do you want a garage door that's white? There's so many factors. How many windows do you want in it? Garage door, the end. Your stonework. Do you want to have cultured stone? Do you want to have brick? Do you want to have real stone? Huge variances in price. How steep is your roof? How complicated is your roof? What kind of windows do you want? Do you want casement windows? Do you want slider windows? So those are just a few things just on the front of this house. And I mean, there's a lot of stuff that I'll tell you about later, but price per square foot is more difficult than you think. But let's go inside and we'll go over some other stuff just so we know. All right. How much a square foot? So you've probably heard anywhere from $200 a square foot to $700 a square foot, but that's a bit of a distraction because it can be $1,000, $1,500 a square foot. Where did the number come from? How do you get that? Well, of course, it's usually finishings, what you're putting in there. So it's all finishing. Now, finishings are something that you can always change. But here's some things that you can't change. Well, you can, but it's quite an experience to do it. What is your house made of? What are the floors made of? What are the walls made of? Those are the things that in years and years and years, if they're built with plywood, spruce, and fir, years from now, you can change your finishings. But it's a real pain to have to change your floor because you got to hold up this whole house. So anyways, those are the things that I think are really important that people don't think about. They want a fancy tap that can be changed at any time, or a plain tap that can be changed at any time. But you can't change the structure. The bones, everybody says. I don't like that term, but anyways, that's what they say. So it's really important to try to figure out what it is, if you're trying to watch your costs, what can I replace later with relative ease? So the kitchen is not relative ease. That's something that you can for sure spend your money on. Your windows are not relative ease because it affects your outside and inside. So These are the little things that will get you up in numbers. Now, I'm going to build this house. Where am I going to build it? Am I going to build it in the city where the water, the sewer, everything is all connected to the lot? Or am I building it out on an acreage? On an acreage, I've got to build a road in. I've got to do a septic system. I have to get power into the house. I have to get gas into the house. In the city, all those are stubbed right at your front door. So that's some more stuff. Okay, so back to square footage cost. Where do you start? Well, a lot of builders, what they did, just like car companies, is they started off with luxury elements or whatever, and then they had tiers. And that's what most people do. Your first tier, might start at $300 and go to $350 a square foot, and then they go on from there. So this is the reason I said I don't like the good bones thing I want to explain to you is I used to have people say to me, I was looking at a used home, and the one thing is it had good bones and we'd fix it up. Well, my question always is how do you know it has good bones? Like, did you take the drywall off? Did you take the siding off? Did you have the flooring removed so you can see? Most people don't. Of course not, because they're not going to buy it and then fix stuff. So the number one thing, I'm going to repeat this because it's so important, that RAVN Homes does, is we start off with good bones. Our floors, we use the L480s instead of the L240s, which is the deflection rating on your joist. Super important. How this is built, 16 on center with the plywood. I'm going to keep preaching about this because it's more important than anything in your house. And that's truly the case. If I put all the fanciest stuff on all your walls and your floors, and this house is built poorly, well, in no time, it's going to look like it's built poorly. Your baseboards, your casings around your windows and doors, again, we use wood. The reason we use wood is simple. It stands up. It is not MDF, which is just sawdust, basically glued together. It's not exactly that, but it's kind of like that. So, okay, so the square footage costs up and down, all over the place. This is a shower. Now, there's all kinds of showers that you can have. So this one is a custom shower. So what that means is we build everything. We build the base, we tile the walls, we have to put in all of our waterproofing to make sure that we don't have leaks, which is really important. So that's way more expensive than just having a fiberglass shower base installed. This is a standalone tub, which means we have to tile around the whole back. That's code. So it stands in the middle of the room, not in the middle, but it does not go against the walls. So that's important. There's all kinds of things that really will influence you. And man, I will stress this till I can't stress it anymore. Please, please get yourself a quality built home that's built with care and consideration. The square footage, I can reduce the cost on it by giving you a less expensive flooring if that's what you want. But we always want to do what the customer wants. So that's why there's such a variance. Here's some things, people kind of want everything included in the price, which I understand, so they know. But one thing that's not really in construction is the landscaping, the septic system. Those are things that you have to have after the house is built. But look at this yard. This is huge. And it's also done quite well. Lots of people leave a lot of their areas as a natural landscape, like what we have on the side of this place. But, it's really nice. You got a great big yard. You got trees all around. It's nice to have a nice grass area, and you can do some different landscapings in the back. So again, coming back to how much is it going to cost? There's so many variables. So Garages. Now this is quite interesting because we just finished with a client, wanted a big garage. He wanted it 26 feet wide, 26 feet deep. After he thought about it, he decided he wanted it even bigger and he wanted to make it a triple car garage. So instead of just one door, I have two doors. So here's some of the things. That garage, adding that bay, is about a $20,000 upgrade. What's involved? Everybody says $20,000 just to add it a little bit bigger. The stonework on the front of the house. You have to have a garage door and a garage opener. You have to do extra cribbing, extra framing, extra siding, extra roofing, extra cement floor, extra driveway, which most people don't consider. So that can drive your costs up quite a bit. Then he asked for a trench drain inside of his garage. Well, everybody kind of always assumes, well, it'd be a couple $1,000s. It was just about $7,000 for that trench drain. And so he questioned it, which is legitimate. You are welcome to question our pricing. And so he knew somebody, his dad actually, who just put a trench drain in. And he phoned him and said, what did your trench drain cost? Because he thought it was very high. And his dad said, no, that's the right number. So anyways, we're not here to try and skin people. We're here to make money, but I don't make all my money on one house. So yes, those little things can make quite a difference. And I'm telling you, don't try and build a house for the glamour of it. You know, a 5,000 square foot house is what I want. 5,000 square feet might not be what you really want, because if it's laid out properly, if it's done right, and it's functional, 3,000 square feet is a pretty big house. I'm not telling you what to build, but I'm telling you what to think about when you're deciding what to build. Okay, I want to be completely transparent with you. A lot of builders will give you a number right in the beginning to get you into a contract. And I've done that in the past. And in fact, I recently did it. And so the people wanted a price. And I was working to establish something for them. But I didn't have the drawings completed. The square footage wasn't finalized. We didn't know what the garage was going to be. We didn't know that they wanted an open to below. Which is a big hole in the second floor, which is a lot more hand railing, a lot more framing concerns. And we didn't know what they wanted for their appliances. So even their appliance package, we gave them a very liberal budget. And then they told me that they wanted $30,000 for their appliances, and they were upset that I didn't know that. And I have no idea what somebody wants for their appliances, so you always do something that's a little more standard. But really, it just turned out to be not a great experience for anybody. And of course, if you come to us and you say, here's what we're thinking of, and we work together with you, we'll design something based on what your vision is. And we can give you an idea, approximately what something's going to cost, but we just can't nail something down. And the reason's pretty simple. As I showed you on this house, just the front of the house has a huge variance in what you're going to spend. So we'll do it. We'll get you the house that you want. We'll build it. We'll build it within the budget that you want, but we'll be able to guide you more based on the things that you tell us are going into it. This should be a super exciting time. You're building a home that you've dreamt about for years. And the idea behind it is that it's fun. It should be fun, because this is having something come into reality from what you think about. So come to us and we'll work with you. We will design it. We'll build you a super high quality home, and we'll work very hard to have you enjoy the experience. Okay, to round out this video, I just want to leave you with this. And this is really helpful for you. It's important that you get very clear on what it is you want. And the reason for that is we want to give you a very accurate cost of what it will be to build your home. We know how much it's going to cost for all the quality products that nobody sees. Now we just need to know what it is you want inside of the home, your dream. And we can help you get your dream. Call RAVN.